Well, ladies and gentlemen, a chance for Gonzaga to earn victory number 10 on the season. Welcome to Spokane and Zagville, the McCarthy Athletic Center. The Zags now ranked number 11 in the country with that 9-3 record, and they welcome in regional foe Montana out of the Big Sky. The Grizzly now 6-5 on the season. The Zags now number 11 in the country, but who knows, a win tonight, a loss above them, and maybe it's hello, top 10. Great to see everyone again. Greg Heister, Mr. Dan Dickow, Mr. Richard Fox. Wow, I tell you, go back to Saturday, Dan. I can put that win near the top of the greatest wins in this program's history.
Well, I definitely think it was a statement win for the program itself because there's been a lot of questions swirling around, like what's missing with this team this year? Well, they answered a lot of questions. After the first 5 minutes, they were tremendous. In the second half alone, they shot over 70% from the field.
Yeah, fantastic. And over the last 4 games, Richard, there hasn't been much missing.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see this team transform into what we all thought they might end up becoming by the time we get to March on both ends of the floor. Offensively, nearly 85 points a game. They're shooting better than 50% from the field, 32% from the three-point line. They're assisting on over half their field goals made per game. And Drew Timme, what else can we say? An All-American, 27 points a game, 10 rebounds, incredibly efficient, continues to be at 65% from the field. 4 assists a game for Drew, and then defensively, this team is starting to figure it out. You lose a guy like Chet Holmgren, it's going to take a minute to figure out how you're going to disrupt teams defensively. They're holding teams in this 4-game stretch under 28% from the three-point line, in 3 of those games under 70 points.
It's a festive feeling in here tonight. Merry Christmas, by the way. Dan, how about a Christmas wish list for the Zags?
Well, when you're such a dominant team, many times you already have everything you need, but coaches always want more, and I think these are a couple things that Coach P would want, and that's more Anton Watson. He was spectacular against Alabama with 17 points, 5 rebounds, and an emphatic dunk down the stretch. Improved defense. The last couple years, Gonzaga has led the country in offensive efficiency. Their defense has been towards the top. This year, they're at 42 in efficiency, but they're getting better. And keep streaking. You have to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. Gonzaga has been tremendous at that over the last few years, 86 straight wins. Although this Montana team came into the McCarthy Athletic Center in 2015, it took a game-winning 3 at the buzzer.
Yeah, strangely enough, Montana owns the overall series record. The Zags have won the last 7 in a row going back to 2000. It's Gonzaga, it's Montana, it's the starting lineups, and it's that beautiful tip-off when we come back live from Spokane. And welcome back to Spokane. Boy, it is a winter wonderland of all winter wonderlands out there right now. Snow continuing to fall. It is beautiful in the inland Northwest. Here's tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Pay bills, deposit checks, access your accounts 24/7 with digital banking at Numerica Credit Union. Well, Montana comes in here with 4 players averaging in double figures. They would be Bannon, Mooney, Whitney, and Thomas. Gonzaga, of course, Strawther, Hickman, Bolton, Timme, and Watson. But you got to keep an eye on number 13, Josh Bannon. Coach Few thinks he's as good a big as they've played all season. Got a lot of moves like Drew Timme, but also can pop out and knock down the 3 ball. Travis DeCure in his 9th season as the head coach at Montana. And, of course, Mark Few, the head coach at Gonzaga. Guys, the head coach at Montana has been there's been some legends that have coached in that spot.
Judd Heathcote is one that comes to mind.
Was it Mike Montgomery there?
Yep, with Michigan State, Judd Heathcote. Mike Montgomery, Wayne Tinkle, who's now at Oregon State as well.
Coach K.
Yeah, Larry Kostoviak, the other Coach K.
Anton Watson dialing in the 3. Missed everything. Got to shake that off quick, Richard.
Get that over with early. I feel like he and Drew need to get the 1-3 out of their system a game. First possession, that works for me.
Well, he was so good. He's been so good all year, but I think it was as good a game as we've ever seen Anton play on Saturday.
He blends so many miscues by others as Moody gets a little floater on the baseline, but Watson blends mistakes to make them positives. But that emphatic dunk with a couple minutes left was unbelievable.
And Timmy inside ties us at 2.
High-low action. Bannon doesn't want to pick up a cheap one. It's a nice job just standing straight up. Don't pick up an early one.
Strawther, good defense there to stop Whitney. And the reset. This is Bannon. He's hit 6 of his last 7 from 3. The drive there, Watson defending. Rebound, he traveled, or a 3-second call, one or the other. Traveled. Either way, it's a turnover, Zach Ball.
That's one thing that Gonzaga, I think, defensively has really done a good job lately, is staying solid and forcing turnovers by being in position. 21 Alabama turnovers the other day.
Oh, Hickman drew the defender through the lob and the easy 2.
He's starting to really come around. Last 87 minutes of game action for him, 0 turnovers.
He drew Deshaun Thomas away from the bucket. Nolan Hickman. What a player he's going to be. Whitney again in the paint. And Anton Watson there with the defense. Here's the 3 from the top. Linnell Martin Jr. from Flint, Michigan. Gives the Grizzly the lead.
Better than 73% of his shots from 3. That's a tough one. It's late in the clock, but he can do that.
And Hickman now through contact. Drew Timmy getting pushed out by Bannon. Little bump. Drew, jump hook, and it falls off. Poked out by Watson. How to play Montana basketball. God, the Grizzlies have come here to win this game.
Yeah, absolutely they have. 2015, it took a game-winning 3 at the buzzer for Gonzaga to pull off the victory. But when you look at Montana's lineup, they've got 2 good bigs in Bannon and Deshaun Thomas that have size to match up with Timmy on the low block and make life difficult.
They've got a few guards that can shoot it. This is a team that's picked 3rd in the Big Sky behind Montana State and Northern Colorado. So the Grizzlies certainly capable on the road. There's some defense by Hickman. Bannon bumped out of there by Anton Watson. Boy, Anton physical to start this game. But Bannon beat him to the baseline and the reverse.
He's just such a clever player. Can do it out to 3, be right there back to the basket. The last couple games, Bannon's averaging about 25 a game, and you can see there he's just a really tough cover.
Really tough, and the fact that he can pop out and shoot it from 3 as well makes him a really difficult guy to guard.
You can't sag off of him. He's good with the ball fakes. 11 of 20 on the year, 35% from 3 in his career. He's a really difficult matchup.
And he's listed at 6'10", just the same size as Timmy. Not sure he's quite that big. Drew the travel.
Interesting, right away you see Montana, they're not sending the double. They're letting Bannon just go to work on his own defensively. And the MO right now is just don't jump on Drew's pump fakes, make him shoot over you. We've seen a couple early turnovers for Drew.
Whitney with the basketball. There's Martin. Strawther defending the ball to switch. And there's the offensive foul. And the charge called on Deshaun Thomas. Saw him kind of extend that right arm.
Well, that's not his game. He is a pick and pop 5. He transferred from Colorado State, where he had a lot of success under Nico Medved, but Julian Strawther, a good closeout to take away the 3, and then slides to stay in front to take the charge.
Each team with a couple of turnovers to begin. We're a little over 3 minutes into this matchup between number 11 Gonzaga and the Montana Grizzlies. And offensive foul called inside. Montana ball.
Bolton trying to come across the lane to free up Timmy.
Foul called on Rozier Bolton. Deshaun Thomas has 2 fouls for Montana. I told you Montana leads the overall series 88 wins to 65. But Gonzaga now has won all games since 2000. And there's the 3-ball. Anan Moody, a redshirt senior from Dickinson, North Dakota. That's the other thing, guys. This is a veteran team Montana rolls in here with.
See Moody just knocking it down, and there we see Anderson gets caught there with the bump. But, you know, this is a team, to your point, Greg, this is what Gonzaga's seen. Kent State, UW, teams that maybe don't get a lot of headline love, but the reality is they've got a lot of guys who've been in a lot of games who are not going to be intimidated. And this is always an interesting time of year for GU. There's no students here. And you can feel the energy from Montana. There's really no energy for GU in this building at the moment.
It's an 8-0 run right now by Montana. The Zags have to create their own energy. Just 4 minutes in. Good start for Montana. Hickman to the post. Drew. They're cutting Watson, but he traveled on the catch. Another turnover against the Zags, their third, with 15:54 to go in this first half. Montana right now getting it done. Efficient offense, big shots. They're up by 6. And welcome back. Earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. Gentlemen, the keys to the game.
I think for GU, you've got, if you can't get out in transition after your stops, take your time offensively, swing the ball. This is a Montana team that will pack it in. They're really disciplined on this end. Whole team's about 30% from 3. Don't settle for quick shots.
Yeah, don't drink the eggnog too early. It's Christmas break after this game is over. You see a lot of times in the college level, guys start looking forward to that Christmas break because they are ready to get home and visit family and friends. But focus on the task at hand and get it done first.
Zags now will look to climb out of a hole. It's another slow start.
Well, hey, they had a slow start against Alabama.
Yes,
I think a lot of it had to do with Alabama with the energy early, but Montana's been great to start off. They've been organized on the offensive end, and defensively, they've been tremendous as well, making Gonzaga work for everything.
And they hit 4 of their first 5 shots. That one well off. Timmy may have gotten a hand on it.
Well, if you're Montana, I mean, you missed the shot, but at the end of the day, you forced Gonzaga to guard for nearly 30 seconds.
Oh, Timmy. So quick, he'll shoot free throws. Bucket by Watson doesn't count. Boy, that's spin.
I was just going to say,
is that really that possible?
Well, he's good all the time.
Yes.
He should keep doing what he's doing. But I love when he's quick on the catch. Whether it be spinning off that contact like you saw there, or taking a power dribble or two into the middle of the key and then get into any one of his moves. I think sometimes for Drew, when he takes his time and tries to back it down, it's a little bit easier to guard for teams.
That foul called on Mac Anderson. That's his second. He and Deshaun Thomas with 2 fouls now for Montana, and it's been a great week for Drew.
And you could say that.
And everything I just said, he should totally ignore it because he's doing it just fine.
Yeah.
But, oh man, what a guy! I mean, just unbelievable week. And you know, we've had other than Alabama, we've had these games. I mean, he has carried this team to a couple of those wins in a way that we just haven't seen a lot in this program's history. One guy carrying that amount of the load.
Well, first of all, don't judge the book by the cover. He's a lot tougher than people give him credit for, and he is he's nails down the end of a game. He's nails. Watch the ball. 3, and there it is. You got to be careful with that big guy.
Press break, finding your shooters. Bannon as a big, you're not always used to going and locating a guy at the 3-point line. He's got a unique release kind of out in front of him a little bit, but knocks it down at a high clip.
But it goes in. He's hit 7 of his last 8 going back 3 games. Doesn't shoot a lot, but man, is he in a zone right now from downtown. They'll try to back in on Anton Watson. Boy, Moody, another quick 3. That's off the front of the rim. Strother the rebound.
I mean, he has a green light. I talked to assistant coach for Montana, Zach Payne, before the game, and he said anytime Moody gets his feet set, they are imploring him to shoot.
Here's Hickman. Hunter Salas. First shot. Corner 3 in and out. Timmy, the offensive rebound. Put back is good.
Well, he gets so caught up in Drew's offensive talent. I mean, he's turned himself into a really good defender. Competes on the glass. His ability to pass the ball. There's really not much he can't do.
Shut off the lane there on the baseline. Bannon And Drew out on top, Dan.
Unique skill set at 5, calling for the pick and roll.
And hits another 3. Josh Bannon with Drew Timme right there. He's found the range in Spokane.
Now look at this bench from Montana. They are into this game.
Yes, they are.
You know, you typically you put that press on. You kind of want the other team's 5 men to get the ball. He's able to knock it down, and here Bannon just kind of stepped back. A little isolation, to your point, Dan. Not something you see a lot at this level.
You're right. That stroke's got a little hitch to it. Hunter. Nice decision.
Great ball fake. Yeah, that one dribble pull up, because of analytics driving so many things to be threes and paint touches, that is a lost art. That is an important shot, I think, for Hunter Sallis' development.
Explain.
Expound.
Too many players and coaches with their philosophy of game plan attacks want threes and want paint touches. But don't forget, if you have a 12-foot open shot, that is a tremendous opportunity.
And the turnover there. And the lay-in at the other end. And right now, Montana playing with more energy. Lolu Oki stepped in front of that pass from Julian.
Montana's fighting over ball screens. They're communicating. They're pushing post catches out. They're taking the fight to Gonzaga here.
Nice catch by Hunter. Drive, skip. Here's Hickman 3. Oh, just short.
Still a great look, and that's not a bad offensive possession. And Sallis makes another good play. Doesn't lead to a bucket.
Oh, they missed Bannon on the low block with a switch with Sallis Gardner.
Malachi Smith, Ben Gregg will be checking in here next whistle. Drive down the lane. Again, Watson there to shut it off. Bannon with the basketball. Sallis defending. Skip to the corner. Shot from 3 is off Timme, the rebound. Whitney missed it. And now Julian Strawther goes to work. Bounce to Anton Watson. He'll back in on Bannon. Boy, he's been hanging out with Drew Timme, hasn't he?
It's a nice looking shot, but great defense from Bannon. Just keeps him in front defensively, makes sure that Watson has to shoot over a body. Gonzaga's big, Montana's bigs are not biting on any of these ball fakes from GU.
Yeah, they're staying down, making them score over the top.
Whitney the drive, Timme there to defend, but he scores anyways. And it's a 20-10 start for Montana with 11:19 to play here in the first. Timeout, Gonzaga. The Grizzlies have hit 8 of their first 13 shots. The Zags 4 of 9. And right now, Montana up by 10 at 20-10. And welcome back. Gonzaga coverage of the game brought to you by Premier proud partner of the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Josh Bannon, gentlemen.
You see why he's all league last year. His versatility, able to knock down the 3, 35% on his career tonight, has come out aggressive here. The step back isolation up top. And you can see what he can do on the low block. He's just got good feet, good hands, can score around the rim, and he's lefty, which always adds another wrinkle to a guy. A really nice start here for Montana, +10, and Bannon's a big part of that, averaging 25 a game over the last couple. He's carrying that over here tonight against GU.
Well, Montana's on a 3-game winning streak. They've had some injury issues early part of the season. Since they've had their full roster, it's coincided with them playing better, resulting in those 3 wins. You can see that this team has a lot of confidence in who they are coming into this building, believing in the game plan that Travis DeCure has put together.
It's a 20-10 game. I think my math was off going to break there. It's a 10-point Montana lead. Malachi Smith with the basketball. Ben Gregg on the floor as well, number 33. 11 minutes to play first half. Here's Hickman. Back to Drew. 6 to shoot. Spin to the baseline. Scores through the double team. Drew Timme. Wow. Tough as nails.
Saw the double coming on the baseline side. He just kind of squirted by it.
Wow. He's so good at this. Just hedging out. And he just is opportunistic. Has that arm always kind of in that cookie jar trying to get a hand on the ball. As you see him spin here, just Probably got fouled, too. Still able to finish.
It just I giggle because that's what we hear about Drew Timme in the next level, right? Can't defend.
Well, if he wants to play at the next level, that is absolutely what he has to be able to show.
He's doing it
consistently.
And to travel there.
In pick and roll situations. Because the college game and the NBA game are two completely different things.
Turnover by Linnell Martin. And number 12, Brandon Whitney, and Deshaun Thomas checking back in for Montana. Thomas comes in with 2 personal fouls. Guys, Montana 15 of 26 from 3 in the last 2 games. Gotta guard that line tonight. They agree with me, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you.
Speak for.
Oh, you don't agree with that. Here's Hickman. Ben Gregg sets the screen. Skip to the corner. Malachi Smith with the reverse.
Oh, good job using the rim to shield the ball from the defender. I mean, he's had a little bit of an up and down start to his Gonzaga career, but man, was he good against Alabama the other day.
Really good. Scored 8 in a row, I think, in that stretch in the second half. Malachi looking to score again. Timme another rebound. Put back. Drew with 10 already and 3 rebounds.
2 of those offensive. Good response here from Gonzaga out of this last time out. Little 6-0 run.
Malachi, you can tell he's getting more comfortable. Those shots that he hit on Saturday, so crucial in allowing Gonzaga to keep that lead at about 10 points for most of that second half.
Look, when he gets some extended minutes, he's been effective. You know, the minutes have been up and down, largely either due to foul trouble or just, you know, following what's going on in the rotation. But the last couple games, 6 of 8 from 3. I mean, he shoots it at a high clip, and he's not afraid.
Streaking Zags, 71 consecutive at home now, longest active streak in the country. And that's the longest, tied with, I believe, Arizona since 1985. 35 wins by 30-plus points. 37 wins versus West Coast Conference opponents. Will be opening up league soon. And 86 straight wins against unranked teams, meaning you beat the teams you should. They've been really good at that.
They have, and I think that's one of the things that kind of unfortunately gets glossed over many times with this program is in the WCC, even though the league's gotten better,
Here
right?
we go.
It's gotten better.
Here we go.
Gonzaga has the big bullseye on their back, and they step up to the challenge seemingly every time. It's quite amazing.
24th season. .930 to play in this first half. Montana now 8 of 14 from the floor. Their percentage is falling. Deflection. Whistle and a foul called. And it's on Malachi Smith.
Gonzaga in a scramble defensive situation there. Salas got switched off onto Bannon again and was posting. Ben Gregg, a nice job of recognizing, go to double, get the ball out of his hands.
Whitney will try to get it inbound. Bannon right at, oh, that foot may have slid, may not have. He's got it back. Foul before the shot, or is he going to shoot? Julian Strother will be coming into the game. That foul before the shot. Hickman coming back in, Julian back in. Malachi Smith, Hunter Salas go out. He's got a rotation now at guard, Dan, that it's starting to find a flow, isn't it?
Well, I think what you're seeing is Nolan Hickman is really gaining Coach Few's trust. I mean, back-to-back games where he plays 40 minutes. And you're nice finish there from Whitney. And then the other guards, it's kind of who's producing that night.
Timme spins, left hand. Fell off. It ended up on the heel of his hand there. And Drew didn't have the normal touch on that shot.
Your hand has a heel?
The palm.
It's a heel to me, gentlemen. Okay. Trust me on that. This part right here is a heel. Think about it like this, Dan. Think about it like this. That's a heel. Bannon inside. And the travel.
Good call for the
It's going to be
official.
fun to watch these two low post guys go. Timmy for Gonzaga, Bannon for Montana.
Check this out.
All right.
Bannon accounts for 37% in Montana's field goals, while Timmy accounts for 38. How often do you see at any level, let alone college, that much offense flowing through effectively your center spot?
Very rarely. I mean, it's become a guard-dominant game. Everybody wants to. Oh my gosh, the tip dunk.
Drew Timmy everywhere right now, leading his team back. Montana was up by 10. It's a 4-point game. Shot falls off from Moody. Zags in transition. Bolton 3 is long. Whitney the rebound. Back come the Grizzlies. Martin to the post. Thomas will shoot it quickly over Ben Gregg. And Drew Timmy just picked up his 5th rebound. He might have a double-double in this first half, the way it's going. That's the second time I've seen Nolan Hickman slip. Foul called there on Brandon Whitney. 7:30 to play first half. Drew Timmy is who we thought he is. 5 of 7 from the floor, 12 points, 5 rebounds. Zags climbing back in. And welcome back. Here's tonight's fan trivia question brought to you by Arby's, your delicious neighborhood meat crafter. Stop by Arby's today. Arby's, we have the meats. How many Gonzaga players are in the NBA currently? 9, 11, or 13? Digging deep for these.
Well, I remember when Dan went to the league, who's the only Gonzaga player in the NBA? It's a pretty simple answer. I don't care what, amazing. 9, 11, or 13, either way, it's pretty remarkable.
I mean,
you know, by the way, I was at Dan Dickau's house the day that he was drafted. I was there for draft. Where were you, Richard?
I was here. I was sitting right next to Mark Few.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, and I remember getting very frustrated we had to wait as long as we did.
Yes, that was a fun but interesting day, that's for sure.
I'll never forget it.
But it's funny when you look at that 9, 11, or 13 Zags. I mean, they're creeping up into the echelon of Carolinas, Kentucky's, Dukes. Granted, Kentucky, I think it leads the NBA with 20-plus NBA guys. But to have potentially double-figure guys in the NBA, I mean, that shows you the talent that's coming out of this program.
What it says to me is that we're spoiled.
Yes.
14 points now for Drew Timmy. Moody to the post, slapped out there by Drew. Roger Bolton with an explosion. Hickman, 3-ball, bang! Nolan Hickman! His first field goal.
He's so good in those transition opportunities, knocking down those threes, particularly when he's the guy receiving the pass, just like that. He's able to catch it in rhythm, on balance.
Zags on a 13-2 run. They're back in front at 23-22.
He's been active again on the defensive end. We've talked about it a couple times already. He's put in the extra effort, resulting in a pushing transition from Bolton. Knockdown 3 from Hickman, who's really starting, I think, to show his comfort level. I mean, he was a McDonald's All-American, very highly recruited. Initially signed with Kentucky, then backed out of that commitment. He told me when that happened, Coach Few was the first coach to call him that day, and he's glad to be here in Spokane. You know, it's a difficult position to be in when you're replacing a guy like Andrew Nembhard, who's having a great rookie season himself in the NBA.
And look, Andrew, I think one of those players that wasn't really appreciated at the level that he should have been. I think people are appreciating him more now, but the legend of Andrew Nembhard will only grow here at Gonzaga. And Hickman had to step in and live up to that. Montana back in front.
Martin knocks down a second 3. Well, if you think about Hickman's year, last year he played off the ball so much. This year he's got to be on the ball primarily. You know, you got to kind of fall back into that role.
Disadvantage size-wise. Ben Gregg calling for the ball, got it from Timmy.
But what was good about that is he was patient with his seal, held the seal, and then on the catch, he didn't go too fast. There were times, I think, early in the season he would go too fast, resulting in a missed shot or a turnover there. Good finish.
Josh Vasquez into the game for Montana. Turned it over.
Gets the switch, holds the seal.
What I love about what Greg has been able to do since he finally got an opportunity to do about a month ago is I don't care if he's playing, 17 minutes against Northern Illinois, just 4 against Alabama. He's having an impact in the minutes that he plays.
Yeah, that play he made in that Alabama game on the sideline.
The defensive.
Yes. He slapped it off his foot. And then the emotion.
Right.
Which this team needs.
Well, it's a pretty stoic group. I think he really brings that off the bench, that fire.
I know his grandmother's watching tonight. Big interview. Graham coming up with your guy Ben Watson with the flush inside. I sat Ben down yesterday for an upcoming interview on the Mark Few Show, and Ben talked a lot about his family and his love of Gonzaga, and he just turned 20 in October. Strother the rebound. Zags up by a bucket. Through Timmy. He's not quite sure how to act without having to beat 2 guys every touch.
It's like, what? I'm
He's
open.
like, this is all you
Single
got?
coverage?
You're not bringing somebody else?
I'm sure it's in the bag at some point for Montana to come with a hard double.
Timmy defending Bannon on that play. Strother a full head of steam. Count the bucket, and he's fouled. Chance for 3 for Julian Strother.
Well, I like the push in transition from Strother there. Force the issue, get the tempo going a little bit. Up till now, this game has really been played at Montana's pace. They want the game in the 60s, where Gonzaga wants it in the 80s.
And they're scoring just under 83 points a game this year. I think I saw earlier that's 24th best number in the country. The last 4 years, they've led the country, right? So numbers are down, but guys, the offense seems to be working at a different pace in the last 4 games.
And this is where we're so spoiled watching this program over the last few years with those offensive firepower teams. They're still second in the country in offensive efficiency. So points per possession, they're second in the country, I think, trailing over only Purdue at this point in time. And if this is a work in progress when you're that efficient, I'd hate to see with this team in another 6 weeks when they're clicking on all cylinders.
Ben Gregg the rebound. Remember, this is a Zag team that dropped 100 points against Alabama. Never in my wildest imagination would I have thought that was possible against that team.
I mean, 74% from the field in the second half. I mean, everything was clicking. And they needed to, because Brandon Miller put on a performance. The freshman, 36 points.
Free throws coming for Julian Strother. 3:37 to play in this first half. Zags were down 20-10. They've outscored them big time. Timmy, feed to Watson. Zags now up by 5, 30-25. All right, welcome back. Zags outscoring Montana 20-5 here recently, and they're up 30-25. Here's your answer to tonight's Arby's fan trivia question. How many Zag players currently in the NBA? It is 9.
Could easily be a couple more, too. Killian Tilly is rehabbing an injury. Joel Ayayi is on the cusp, playing well in the G League.
Nembhard, Holmgren, Suggs, Sabonis, Kispert, Hachimura, Clark, Collins, Olynyk. Look at that. Look at that list.
It's just amazing. This,
dear Lord, look at that list.
And what it tells you is Gonzaga is a university that puts out incredible post players. It always has been. It's really what's built this program is it's front line. I mean, it's.
Yeah, but you were a point guard, weren't you?
In my heart.
Yeah. All right, Julian Strother at the line. 3 points tonight, 5 rebounds. Julian always contributing somewhere on the floor.
What are some of the key components of player development for a big in this program that you've seen over the years?
Well, I think since I've been exposed to the programming, the first thing I think of is the weight room. Just getting guys physically able to play at this level. And just the system allows for a lot of freedom that a lot of other places don't. well, you're not always reacting. You get the freedom to make some choices as a big, and so they put you. It's just very repetitive, as we see the turnover here.
Yeah, Bannon picked up his pivot foot.
To finish the thought, it just.
He didn't agree, but he did.
It's just repetitive. They put you in the same position over and over again until they kind of just drill you into these situations, and then within that system, be able to play. But it's just the level of skill work that you go through. It's not just playing up and down. I mean, they put you in a position where you're just repping it out all the time.
Like that old saying, instead of doing it until you get it right, you do it until you can't get it wrong.
Was that a saying for real?
Yeah, you've never heard that?
I've not heard it that way, no.
That's the difference a lot of times between an amateur and a pro.
Oh.
Okay.
Timmy, left hand jump on.
Pontificate for me, buddy.
Yeah, Dan. I'm not. Gee, I think he just threw down on his partners right there.
I know. This is like, what are you trying to tell us, man? Jeez.
Wow, it's Christmas, Dicko. It's Christmas.
Oh, wow. You guys took that the wrong way. I would have thought I made a comment about the Pittsburgh Steelers or something.
Careful.
The way you looked at me.
Those are fighting words. Zags on a 24-5 run. And that shot well short from Thomas. Well, I'm not sure what button was pushed at about the 8-minute mark. But the Zags have
I can tell you right now, Mark Few said, you think you're going home for Christmas?
Bah humbug.
These games are always hard. The students are gone. I mean, look, you're human. You're thinking about a lot of these guys haven't been home in a long time.
Probably have a 6, 7 a.m. flight heading back to their respective homes. They may or may not have packed. Would you have been already packed?
100%.
Hey guys, here's a little bit about Montana. Located, of course, in Missoula, one of the greatest places in our country. Founded it way back in 1893. Imagine what it was like in Missoula, Montana in 1893, part of the Big Sky. Of course, famous alumni, the great Wayne Tinkle, Jeff Ament, and Carol O'Connor. I guess Ament, I'm being told, is part of a group called Pearl Jam.
Yeah, they're like kind of a rock and roll type of band. They've been around for a few years, Greg.
It's a ridiculous name. Pearl Jam is. Here's Hickman.
I thought you were talking about the guy's name.
No!
That's really not cutting.
Oh, he's a great guy. Here's Martin. About 2 minutes to play now in this first half. The Zags have stormed back against Montana. The Grizzlies had found momentum and were really putting it to the Zags. They led it 20-10. Turnaround, falls off the front of the rim, and there's Drew Timmy. Rebound number 7.
Montana found some easier shots in the first 7-8 minutes. It's been tough sledding as Drew Timmy won't be denied. Gets all the way to the rim. Tough finish and the free throw.
He looked like a jackrabbit going through the lane. Bouncing, hopping, jumping.
Can't wait to see that one again.
He's not athletic, huh? Watch. Bang, boom. That's fantastic.
Well, I will say this. It did look like the travel to me. I think Richard and I agree with that.
Buzzkill.
But, of course, you have to make a comment. But, the term athlete is kind of been hijacked because people say you run and you jump high, you're now an athlete. Well, what about the footwork, the hand-eye coordination? If you want to put all those things together, Drew Timmy's a tremendous athlete.
I love Tom Brady talked about that once, and he said, look, I was great at ping pong, I was great at basketball, I was great at baseball. I just couldn't run and jump. But I was great at any sport I played. Timmy there to defend that shot. Moody had to shoot it too high, but a foul inside.
How's your ping pong game?
Not real good. That ball moves fast, Dan. I mean, I'm a big guy. Like, we don't move quick.
I don't have an issue with Pro Jam. I've got an issue with ping pong, though.
I
don't understand why that's a fun game.
I bet you, Dan, would be good at ping pong, though.
No, I'm aware of what it's called, Dan. I'm aware of the rules as well. I've played. I just don't understand the appeal.
You got your own bat? It's not called a paddle. When you get to a certain level, it's called a bat.
Is that true story?
Yes.
You making stuff up?
No, I'm dead serious.
It's true?
See, I don't get the pickleball game. I know Coach Few's a big pickleball player.
He loves pickleball.
I don't get that one.
Lolu Oki at the free throw line right now, a redshirt junior out of Aurora, Colorado, 6'8", 218.
Yeah,
we're going to get this off the ping pong table back to the hardwood.
Oki, two-time Defensive Player of the Year in the RMAC. That's a really good league. And Metro State, you know, with Mike Dunlap, won a couple national championships. Just representing my Denver metro area there, Greg. It's not just about where you're from. Okay, we all come from someplace.
Portville, New York. Oh, wow. We had some of the best pumpkin seed spitters in the world back there. Here's Hunter Salas. Zags up by 10. Hunter, 3 on the way. Little long.
Oh, it's a good-looking shot, but I don't know if you noticed it, Danny. He kind of fades away. Once he hits the ground, he starts kind of backpedaling on his jump shot.
Well, I think he's still getting to the point where he's repping it out consistently to make it a similar mechanics. That time I thought, yes, his footwork wasn't quite ready on the catch.
Nice catch by Martin. Got the shot off, and it falls off the front tip by Timmy right to Strother. Still 6 seconds between the two clocks. Zags will drain it. Montana should have another look. Zags 15 of 28, 53.6%. And Montana slumping, now 10 of 26 for this first half, 38.5. It's down to 6 on the shot clock. Here's Hickman. He can shoot it from there. He will. Just a bit long. Vasquez got it up to Martin. Beats the clock. Hunter Salas picks up the foul, and he appears to be grimacing. Oh, he's okay. Good news. Free throws coming, though, for Linnell Martin. 6'4", 207-pound redshirt junior came all the way from Flint, Michigan to play basketball in Missoula. Boy, there's some good fishing over there at the Bitterroot. Clark Ford.
Thought you were going to say there was good basketball players from Flint, because there are. Mateen Cleaves,
big
Moses
time.
Peterson.
Yeah, bbig time. Those are great teams for Tom
Michigan
Izzo.
State has gotten a lot of guys out of Flint.
1.7 seconds to play in this first half. Martin takes his time and connects. Hickman with the heave. They practice the half-court shots after every shoot-around. Those shots are makeable by these guys. Gentlemen, thoughts as we go to break?
After a slow start once again, they were clicking on all cylinders, but give Montana a lot of credit. They have got the game played at their pace.
Yeah, 5 early turnovers. Gonzaga just won since. They cleaned it up offensively. It's the Drip Timmy show again tonight. He's been tremendous offensively.
Yeah, 18 points, 8 rebounds for True. The Zags end that first half on a 26-8 run. And they lead the Montana Grizzlies out of the Big Sky, 36-28. We're at halftime in Spokane. A lot to come. Come on back. And welcome back to Spokane, Washington. There is a shot of downtown. Those are ice skaters that you're seeing there.
Great sport.
We ought to, the three of us ought to go do that sometime.
I thought
it would be like good bonding time.
What about sledding? I think sledding could be fun too.
No, like to see a 7-foot guy like you on figure skates, like I would even pay for the afternoon.
The only time I look graceful. Only time.
All right, we're at the half. Heister, Dickow, and Fox. Well, Drew Timmy.
He's good.
Oh my gosh. It's just a broken record, but you just got to tip your cap every time he plays because he's consistently great.
Well, consistently great is one thing, but, you know, he's winning all these accolades because he does so many things well, whether it's the seal to create the high-low opportunity, whether it's feel the contact from the defense, spin away from it, and finish with pressure. Now the other part of his game that's really starting to blossom is the defensive side. He's gotten some hard-hedged deflections, a shot block there, and he continues to do the little things as well as making plays for teammates. That was a great pass to Anton Watson.
And guys, interesting, right? This is a team, Gonzaga, that struggled with turnovers in the early part of the season. They're really fixing that. I mean, not only they're not turning it over, like they've been great with the basketball. I think one in their last 24 possessions.
Yeah, they started with 5 early turnovers and just kind of cleaned that up early in the game. You talked about it in the open. Over half their shots have been assisted the last 4 games. Just a really unselfish group, and this has been a staple of this program, is distributing the ball.
And what do you think it is when they get into those rush? Just a lack of concentration. It seems to happen at the beginning of the game a lot. Just a lack of focus when they begin?
Sometimes it's just, quite frankly, the game plan of the other team and the execution that they may have.
Halftime continues from the McCarthy Athletic Center. Ben Gregg, big bucket. The Gonzaga halftime report is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino. Join us at Coeur d'Alene Casino for a mouth-watering steak dinner, pampering spa treatment, or the hottest games around. Coeur d'Alene Casino, a proud sponsor of Gonzaga Athletics. Winning, it's in our nature. And welcome back to Spokane, the Inland Northwest. Gonzaga basketball. Greg Heister, Dan Dickow, Richard Fox. Guys, Zags started 8 of 13 from the floor. Or, Montana started 8 of 13. Zags then shut them down. 2 of 13. Defense, intensity, like what is it that this team can just turn on and shut a team down?
Well, I think sometimes, and it sounds bad, you have a tendency many times to ease into a game. I think this a little bit of what you saw tonight. But you also have to give Montana a lot of credit. At first 5-6 minutes, they were crisp offensively. Bannon got free a few times. Moody was aggressively looking for shot opportunities. So it's not all negatives on Gonzaga's part. A lot of it was positives for Montana.
Yeah, you agree?
I do. And towards the end of that first break, we were alluding to just making changes. You know, after that second media timeout, Gonzaga's down 10. That's where the game shifted. And I think sometimes, Montana's got a great game plan. It takes you a media timeout or two to kind of get your legs under you, figure out what you're doing. And early on, Montana hit some shots late in the clock. That's what they want to do. They want to milk the clock offensively to some degree and shoot deep into it, force the team to defend. Early on, they knocked down some shots. That last 10 minutes or so really struggled to convert those opportunities late in the clock.
And there's your first half stats brought to you by the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Zags ended up shooting 52% from the floor, holding Montana to 38%. 3-point field goals. Zags haven't needed them tonight. Hickman hit that 1 of 7. Montana 5 of 12. But Drew Timme went to work, dominated the paint offensively for Gonzaga. They lead at 36-28 after the first 20 minutes. Second half when we come back. Number 11 Gonzaga 36. The Montana Grizzlies from the Big Sky 28. The first half in the books. Getting ready now to start the second half. Both teams out here on the floor at the McCarthy Athletic Center. Drew Timme led Gonzaga with 18 points on 8 of 11 shooting. 8 rebounds, 2 assists in that first half. All Drew Timme. Zags, though, clamped down defensively as well. Second half, Gonzaga, Montana, straight ahead. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Greg Heister, Dan Dickow, Richard Fox, Drew Timme, guys. It's like he makes history every time he walks on the floor now for GU. Let's check into the all-time scoring list. He's now just 16 points shy of number 6 all-time and tying the great Matt Santangelo.
Matt had a heck of a career here, starting point guard on that first Elite 8 team in '99. But Drew Timme, 18 in the first half. He has another half like he just had. He may surpass Matt today.
Well, he's 74 from surpassing Adam Morrison. That's going to happen this year. Just remarkable.
And look, he's only a game or two away from going in front of Kevin Pangos as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by the new year the way he's playing if he's right there at number 3.
Great steal from Watson.
Anton Strother's got to come get it from him. A lot of contact, the flush, no whistle, and a flop is called. And Anton ends up falling over Bannon. But Bannon also knocked to the floor and then called for a flop.
Well, the flop is now a change from a season ago. They let the play finish, but then it becomes free throws in the basketball. The official must wait till the possession is deemed dead, which it is after the dunk.
What I don't understand is why is it an automatic technical? When you can get it wrong as the official, but automatically it's penalizing the defense. And I want to get that out of the game too, but it just seems a bit
I just don't understand. He flopped. He gave up a bucket.
Yep.
Isn't that a penalty enough?
100% agree with you. You put your team at a disadvantage. That should be enough. The Rules Committee, in my opinion, got it wrong.
Why don't they ask us? We would fix all these things.
I'd put my phone number out there, but
well, the officials don't have anything to do with the Rules Committee. They just are in charge of enforcing the rules.
Yeah. It's too easy to get a hold of me now, frankly.
Let me look up in my phone what Greg Heister's phone number is.
Yes.
509. No.
Yeah.
I've seen that look before.
This would be the funny time to give one of your buddies' numbers out. It wouldn't be your friend much longer. But.
I've got a great story, but we don't have time for it. 10-point lead, and this is Deshaun Thomas at the free throw line.
Can't leave us.
No, but I do. Remind me. I'll tell you after the game. I got a great story.
But our viewers want to hear it too.
It's going back some years. Okay, let's go to the NFL. Remember that time that Sam Weiss got on the loudspeaker at his fans in Cincinnati? They were throwing snowballs on the field, and he said, "Quit throwing snowballs. You live in Cincinnati. You don't live in Cleveland." I was working in Cleveland, and a guy named Casey Coleman was the sports director, and he put up Sam Weiss's home phone number and said, "Call Sam and let him know what you think about it."
That's awesome.
Strother got the defense in the air, connected from downtown.
Just stayed on those toes on the ball fake.
Julian now with 8 and 5. Zags up by 11. Here's Whitney. Skip to the corner. Thomas. Timmy defending. Nice bucket there by Thomas. Created a little space. Left hand drops.
Well, it's a three-point shooting. Thomas has that ability. Bannon, you've got to guard him on the line. Opens up that dribble drive.
And another foul. Here's Julian Strother. Just 3 shots tonight, guys.
Watch his toes. I stayed down. I will shoot this now.
One of his feet stayed down. I'm not sure that right one did.
Only need one of them to stay down.
Julian has a blast playing. 8 points on 2 field goals, 3 and 3 from the line, 5 rebounds for Julian. Here's Drew. Have you noticed his free throws are getting more and more deliberate? Like he's taking even more and more time now, concentrating, hoping to drop them in. He was 2 of 3 in the game before that.
About 7 seconds.
They missed them both. But the Zags with a break.
Well, those are the little things that Coach Few and staff work on in practice. Free throw lineups in different ways that you can avoid being blocked out. And when you have a poor free throw shooter like Drew Timme at the line, or maybe even Anton Watson, you need to be prepared to try to dig out an extra possession.
Timme somehow got that shot up. He'll shoot 2 more. And the foul called there on number 21, Lolu Oki. And that's number 2 on him, 2 on Montana. You know, it's interesting. And I know that the discussion will begin shortly.
Like right now.
And the what ifs. Drew has his COVID year.
Yes.
So does Anton Watson. And I talked about that with Anton yesterday, and he said, look, it is my goal to go play basketball somewhere, professionally, somewhere. I want it. That's my dream. That's what I want to do. I said, but with NIL, right? And he's like, yes.
100%.
It's a possibility.
The length of time sometimes it takes to earn a very lucrative European contract takes some time.
It does. Well, especially if you don't have a passport right out of the gate. and you're playing as an American, as Thomas gets around and knocks it out of bounds. You know, as my father once told me, there's no place like campus land. So I was in college for 7.5 years. But nonetheless, you do reach a point where you're ready to do something different.
Like shoot threes from the corner. Anton a little long there. Anton with 6 points tonight. Drew almost had himself one. Thomas the drive, and the runner goes in the lane. 8-point Gonzaga lead. But because of NIL, because of COVID, Timmy with the flush. One dribble, two hands. Drew now at 20. But with NIL and with that COVID year, we're going to have some really old basketball teams next year.
You're seeing it this year. There was a game I was watching on TV the other day. They had a 26-year-old on the floor. So when you, and not a single freshman is in the top 50 in scoring in the country as Bannon gets the layup to go and a chance at a three-point play. But you know, people always talk about, oh, this freshman's 5-star, they're going to be good. They are good, but an 18-year-old going against a 23, 24-year-old is a difficult task. Think about if he does come back for another year, could you imagine an 18-year-old guarding Drew Timme on the low block?
Well, I can't imagine anybody trying to slow him down, so yeah.
Point well taken.
Thank you.
Bannon showed some strength on that last play foul. Nolan Hickman. Here comes Ben Gregg. Anton gets a breather. Tell you what, I think the ceiling for Ben Gregg is enormous.
He finally looks comfortable, and I don't say finally to slight anything he's done up till now. He just it just seems as if he's getting comfortable and almost as if on cue. He heard you talking about him, Greg.
The game slowed down for him. Yeah, he's not thinking a million miles an hour. He's just playing now.
And there's a dive by Ben Gregg, and that's that thing about him that you love. Obviously, you can shoot the three. At 6'10", he's diving on the floor. Not a lot of 6'10" guys willing to do that.
He's instant energy off the bench. I mean, that's what you're looking for from your bench unit is that quick little ball fake. And he's so comfortable at the top of the key. Is when you come in the game, you've got a job. Do your job. And for Ben, it's look to take advantage of the three-point line and then just bring that energy.
And he's called for the personal foul there as Deshaun Thomas caught it, tried to go up. That's his first. He is prone to get into some foul trouble.
I think sometimes he can get over exuberant defensively. I mean, he's a big guy, but he's not a guy who plays with a ton of strength. So he makes up for that, I think, with just trying to be feisty. And right there, there's just no need to swipe down on the ball. Just force Thomas to shoot over you. I think that's, look, all these guys are getting better, and Timmy included. And that's where areas where, more reps that Ben gets, the more those types of things aren't going to happen. He's just going to be solid there in that position versus trying to make a play by swiping down at the ball.
It is just about reps, isn't it? Time.
At the end of the time, it is. At the end of the day, you got to play.
Yes.
47-39. Hickman bounced to Drew. Great feed to Smith. Malachi missed it, but he was fouled. Clearly a hand on the arm.
Miscommunication on what that play call was. It was supposed to be a back screen for Timmy and then immediately turn and down screen to get Strother an open look at the top of the key. Timmy turned it into a pick and roll. After Strother hit that last one, I would think he was searching for his next opportunity.
What does that tell you when a play breaks down, though, Dan, but you've got good enough players that can still get the ball to the basket?
Well, you're right. I mean,
right? They just
you got Drew Timme as a great weapon regardless if it's dribble handoff, pick and roll situations or post ups. You have something that no one else in college basketball has.
Here's Moody. He's been quiet since that opening 5 minutes or so of the game. Thomas squares on Timme, showed him the ball, trying to create space, missed the shot. Smith flying through the rebound, and now Malachi pushes To the post, Timmy. Back to Ben Gregg. Turned down the three this time with Bannon there. Here's Drew. Spin. Oh, he got it back and put it in. Oh, that first move.
2 spins, man.
I just love how he's able to lean so far back when he starts to go, but yet stay on balance. Zags up by 12. Bannon driving on Ben Gregg. And tough shot.
He's got a little
he spins. He does.
He's a unique player. He's definitely, being from Australia, kind of has that international big skill set. He's all Big Sky a season ago. I can only imagine he creates a load of problems in that league.
Reminds me of those Australian players that played for LMU back in your day. Yeah, was it Matthew Knight that was there? Corner 3 for Strother. He's got another one. But they were skilled, but tough, big. It's not great athletically, but man, could they beat you. Zags now up by 13, and Drew Timme with 22 points. Gonzaga's largest lead. Bannon scores for the Grizzlies, but the Zags up 13. Tonight's Smiles of the Game brought to you by Delta Dental. We're on a mission to help make Washington State 100% cavity-free. To learn more, visit cavityfreewa.com. Brought to you by Delta Dental of Washington, proud supporters of Healthy Smiles and your Gonzaga Bulldog. Here's some good-looking smiles. Zag fans should be smiling. For better than a couple of decades now. Better not ever be a frown in those stands.
So you got your Christmas shopping done?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's too early.
Way too early.
He hasn't started.
I really haven't.
Well, 25 straight 20-win seasons for Gonzaga.
Yeah.
That brings smiles to your face.
It does.
The fact that Drew Timme is on an offensive tear. Last 4 games before this one, averaging nearly 27 a game. Looks like he's easily going to get that tonight.
Zags have hit 6 of their first 8 shots to begin this second half. Richard, are you done?
Yeah, my wife's.
She does it all, right?
Yeah. In fact,
she buys the stuff for herself from you, too,
that's
right?
the first year. She's like, I'm buying my own good. I thought it was a trick at first. I had to get witnesses. Bannon gets a mismatch inside. I literally asked her to confirm in front of her mother-in-law and some other folks. And so, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure I got her some really nice things.
And Dan, you got like a lot of gifts to buy.
Yes.
You know, let me just put it that way. I mean, I tell you what, the toy store loves to see the Dick House coming.
That's
Hey,
right. They're here.
Your credit card's a little light these days.
Well, let's hope that Santa brings a big loot for the Dick House. Any little bit will help. 56-43. There's Bannon. He's having a nice game for Montana. Now he'll shoot the step back, but that's short. Julian the rebound. Nolan Hickman, just 3 points, but 3 assists. And a reach and a foul called on Jackson Knapp, a freshman from Renton, Washington. What do you know about Jackson, Dan, with all your work with Scorebook Live?
He burst onto the scene last year in the summer AAU, or going into his senior year, excuse me, playing for Friends of Hoop, AAU team out of the Seattle area. Montana's eye on him. He can shoot the ball.
And Malachi Smith can as well. You just knew it was a matter of time. Malachi, he just kept shooting. It was going to go in. He's comfortable now, and he's scoring the ball, gentlemen.
He's just in a different role than he's ever been in. You know, a season ago at Chattanooga, averaged nearly 20 points a game and was the primary ball handler, was the primary scorer. They ran a lot of offense for him. Here he kind of has to find his opportunities, and I think what you're seeing is a guy that does a great job in shot prep on the catch so he can make that quick decision, and he's getting more comfortable of attacking off the bounce like you saw there.
I just like he's never sped up.
Timmy, the defense. Bannon couldn't get it through him. Drew leads the break. coast to coast, and the jam, Drew Timme.
If there's a better player in college basketball, you need to name him right now, because that's amazing.
And he almost had the block at the other end. But Drew Timme, the highlight of the game, now with 27 points, 12 of 16.
Great angle.
Jeez.
Bang!
I haven't seen the stash kind of celebration in a while. He was doing that kind of wave thing the other day.
It's when he hits the floater, Dan.
That's for the floater he does that?
Yep.
And Timme now needs 8 more to tie Matt Santangelo, 9 to pass him. Hickman out of the game, Bolton in. Brandon Whitney, the junior from Mission Hills, California. Mission Hills, that's a suburb of San Diego, I think.
No, just south of LAX.
There you
Torrance,
go.
California. Played at Bishop Montgomery, a really good high school program down there.
Boy, I tell you what, Dan Dickau is dialed in tonight.
Life lessons, geography.
Yeah, good thing he's not shooting threes. He'd have like 12 of them. And the rebound there off the miss by Mac Anderson. Bolton picks up the personal foul as Brandon Whitney was going to the bucket. Jonathan Brown, number 20 on the floor now for Montana. Hunter Salas back on the floor for GU. Roger Bolton out with 12:17 to play. Gonzaga now enjoying their largest lead at 16. Zags already, though, with 6 fouls here this half. Bounce. Nice lead for Thomas. Ben Gregg picks up the personal foul. And this will put Deshaun Thomas back at the line.
Good rotation here from Ben. You got to be straight up. And I can tell you, as a big, it's really difficult. You feel like you're standing straight up, but those arms, when they come down, even just a touch, it's an automatic for these officials these days. You've almost got to exaggerate the fact that your hands are straight up in order to avoid that call.
And the video never lies, does it?
Rarely. Rarely.
You had to really think about that.
I did, yeah. Can't believe everything you see.
No, I guess not
Dan sent
these
us
days.
some video the other day of some guy catching a baseball. It wasn't real. At first I thought
What is he sending us that nonsense for?
That was real.
Like he knows anything about baseball.
Baseball?
There's Timme looking for 29.
Travel.
Oh, he traveled. I'm not sure Drew agrees. 11:57 to play. Gonzaga up by 14. Gonzaga Hoops play of the game brought to you by Multicare Health System. Whether you're at home or in the kennel, Multicare's team of doctors, nurses, and specialists partner with you all season long. Drew Timme, gentlemen.
It's impressive. Great job being vertical on the defensive end of the floor. And then please tell me another 6'10 player in college basketball who can do what he did at the end of this play. It wasn't a Euro step. It was simply a collect and gather over the top finish. That's a tremendous play from the senior from Richardson, Texas.
And tell me there's 400 players in this world better than Drew Timme.
Well, they don't all play his position, but the point's well taken. I mean, it's hard to deny his ability, particularly on the offensive end, is so unique. He's so skilled. You know, how can't that work at the next level, given how open and spaced out the NBA is now?
Moody, that's off. Oh! Snuck it in the side.
Video doesn't lie.
It doesn't lie,
Video
man.
doesn't lie. Let's
You're
watch
right.
it again.
Yeah. Hey, back it up, Chauncey Jones. Let's take another look. I could have sworn that one missed. Smith, Malachi from downtown. Malachi with 9. I just like saying his name. Malachi, it's a great name. Ball tipped into the corner. And Salas and Vasquez battled. Actually, that's not Vasquez, that's Knapp. Gonzaga ball.
Hey, we get another look at it. Thanks, Chance.
There's your replay. And it went in again.
2 for 2.
Let me just say this. That ball was trending off the rim.
Trending?
It was trending off. On the way, it was trending off the rim. You're a Twitter guy. Here's Malachi. Julian Strother. 10 on the shot clock. Bounce to the corner. Hunter Salas. Short tip back. Strother. Loose ball. Salas on the floor. Ben Gregg with it. And now Malachi with a drive back to Ben. Fake the three. Ben with a drive. And he went for the flush. And he's knocked to the floor by Mac Anderson. And Ben in some pain.
It looks like he landed on his hip. Hopefully he's all right.
Tough kid, man. Nothing dirty here that I could see initially. Let's take a look. Anderson comes over, gets a lot of ball there, but just the awkward fall.
Ben's going to stay in the game.
My hip's going to hurt for the next 2 days. Just seeing that man.
He'll shoot the free throws. I don't see anybody up off the bench to replace him. Ben's got a little hockey in him, ladies and gentlemen. You got to love that.
You love that.
I do love that. Oh, hockey guys are tough, Dan. You would have been a great hockey player, by the way. You're the perfect size.
Just can't stay on
put you on my
skates.
left wing.
The fact that
And
my
just let you go to work.
The fact that my daughters do what they do on the ice is crazy.
They're tremendous figure skaters. You would have been an NHL All-Star, I think.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
That's what I predict.
That's why
right
you
now.
want to see us go down to the ribbon.
I just want to say, Dan, I do not think that.
I do. Great hands and feet, Dan Ditka. And there's a chance for three for Jackson Knapp.
Tremendous job from Knapp there, rejecting the ball screen, shift the defense, then attack. It's a drop. Free throw for the three-point play. As a freshman, you know he's got this game circled, being that he's from the state of Washington. He wants to play well.
And he's big, Dan. He's 6'7".
He's got good size. Good size for a wing in the Big Sky.
There's Malachi. Bounce. Ben Gregg still in the game. Fires the three. Ooh. That one rimmed out. Under 10 to go. Zags trying to get to win number 10 on the season and enjoy a few days off for Christmas break. Thomas from downtown. That's a quick release.
Tough rotation from Gregg. Trying to help Anoki down on the roll. Unable to get out there in time to bother Thomas.
Here's Hunter. Drew. Boy, he is just relentless. He's absolutely relentless.
Well, if you're not going to double him and you give him all the time in the world, the defense really has not much of a chance.
27 and 10 and 4 assists.
Effectively what he's averaged the last 4 games.
And now a discussion by the officials. Now it's back to the game. 5 on the shot clock. Drew again goes to work. Throws it up. And he'll go to the line. Drew 3 of 7 from the line tonight. He's holding his jaw. It's either a bad tooth or he just took one to the chops. I think Drew's the type of guy, though, that would put a string on the tooth and slam the door, right? He's from Texas, gentlemen. That's what they do from Texas. Drew now with 28. 4 of 8. It's so quiet. Knapp the rebound. Moody. 12 on the shot clock. Moody with it again. And now he'll shoot the deep three. He had the ball 3 different times and took the deepest shot. Out of play. Off of Ben Gregg. Montana ball.
You look up, it's only a 12-point game. Montana's doing everything they can to stay in this game. If they're able to get a couple good possessions on the offensive end of the floor, they're going to put some doubt in Gonzaga's mind.
Knapp driving. And now Moody. He'll shoot the 3 again. That rimmed out. Strother up high for the rebound. That's his 8th to go along with 11 points.
It's been a good night on the glass for Drew. Or rather, Julian, pardon me.
And an offensive foul away from the ball. And I think it's on Drew Timme. He doesn't agree.
He's not happy either. He's saying, give me the ball. He felt he had the defense sealed.
He wants the ball earlier.
Exactly. He thought he had him sealed initially. Missed the first one. He held that seal longer, resulting in the call.
Knapp drives on Drew. Wild shot. Smith runs it down in the corner. Back comes Gonzaga. Up to Hunter Salas. Malachi, open 3. Ben Gregg, offensive rebound. Up strong. He'll shoot free throws. Tell you what, wait till those shoulders fill out on Ben Gregg. He's going to be a monster. 66-54, back in a moment. And welcome back. Gonzaga upcoming schedule brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, your financial success fan club. Here's what's next. December 28th, Eastern Oregon. And then it's off the West Coast Conference play. Pepperdine, USF, Santa Clara, BYU. And this is where Dan chimes in with the West Coast Conference. Yeah. It's better than it's ever been.
Go, Dan, go.
You're on, Dan.
You know, when you look at the overall body of work for the WCC in the non-conference, it's been pretty good. Santa Clara sitting at 11-3. They got a big test with Boise State before they go for Christmas break. But, you know, Loyola Marymount's been better than a lot of people think. St. Mary's almost knocked off #1 Houston. San Francisco beat undefeated UNLV, but then unfortunately for them, Kyle Bankhead couldn't get the scouting report right, and they lost their last game at home.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, Kyle, if you're
Sorry,
listening.
Coach Bankhead. You're loved up here.
I think the WCC is in for another good year. I don't know if there's 3 teams that will make the league or the tournament this year, but it is good again.
The Zags are really good again.
You guys put me on the spot wanting to know about the league. I mean,
there's 9 points now for Ben Gregg. Dan, but that's kind of your job as an analyst, is to say things that are provocative, right?
I
to
think the league is good.
Okay, that's all right. Good night.
So if you think it's provocative, you must not agree.
No, it's sure fine. It's great. There's Moody. Thomas from the elbow, and he gets the roll.
It's got a soft touch to
It's
Thomas.
a flat shot, though, but it goes in. Richard just coughed up a lung. Thank God for these cough buttons.
Excuse me.
Moody with the rebound. There's a nice drive, and again, the roll is going right now for Montana. Brandon Whitney makes it a 10-point game.
But they're not allowing Timme with any easy catches. Gonzaga's going to have to find a different way to get him the ball. I would imagine maybe mid-pick and roll to that short roll where he's so good.
Ben. Drew was tangled up with one of the Grizzlies on that pass. Off the mark. And Montana can get it back to single digits here. Whitney with a lot of dribble. Now he's got to give it up. Bannon fakes the 3. Drives. Whistle. And the foul called.
Nice play.
Offensive.
Nice play from Hickman. Just stays home right there. He understands Brandon Whitney's not going to shoot the three-point shot on the kick out. Stays home. Whitney he just doesn't shoot from the three-point line. 2 of 9, career 29% shooter. Stay there. Help out Greg on the drive. Nice heads-up play from Hickman.
Hunter with some courage. It's a big dude that just ran into him. Julian. Here's Drew. Skip. Great vision. Nolan Hickman. Bannon with the rebound.
Good rebound from Bannon there.
Got good hands in him.
He does.
Zags had 6 players in double digits in that win Saturday against Alabama. Only Timmy and Strother there in this game. Anton Watson back on the floor. There's Moody the drive. And the hanger goes.
Moody's been really good.
He's down to 8.
Career at Southern Utah and played at North Dakota. Solid with the balls, good shooter. Competitive on the defensive end.
Malachi drives. And obviously the whistle. And the foul called on Moody.
Nice looking floater here. The touch.
Moody now with 10 on 4 of 13 shooting, joins Bannon and Thomas in double digits. They each have 15.
Well, Moody just 2 of 8 from the three-point line, but he's been on fire the last 6 games for Montana. 43% from behind the arc. You give a guy like that enough looks from behind the three-point line, he's going to get to his percentage, start knocking some of those down. Dan, when you play, could you feel that? I'm 2 of 8. You know, I'm struggling. I mean, is it just you're so focused? If it's a good shot, you're on to the next.
I think it's if you're wired as a good shooter, you think the next one's going in. Right. So you continue to hunt shots.
The missed shots don't linger.
Yeah, they don't affect.
I think Mariano Rivera, the Yankees' greatest closer of all time, gave up some bad pitches, but man, gotta have that mentality right there. And there's a great finish by Whitney.
I love Whitney's game. He just understands who he is. He doesn't try to force the three-point shot. He's so good around the rim for a guy undersized. He shoots it almost 54% around the basket.
Timmy calling for the ball again. Drew wants it. Shot on the way. Nolan Hickman. Nolan now with 5. Zags with 3 players now in double digits. Strother, Timmy, Malachi Smith now with 11. But this is Nolan Hickman getting to his spot. Zags up by 10. And welcome back. Wow. Story time by the fireplace. Dan, you have one of those sweaters at home.
I do not.
And look, Drew, man, I tell you what, where do you think you're going to put a tree that big? Crew. Yeah, that's what I call him. Crew.
You know that movie, right?
Yeah, Christmas Vacation, yeah, like the greatest ever, right?
It is the greatest Christmas
movie. Hey, Santa, whoa, what's he doing here? What is he doing here?
Best Christmas movie of all time is Die Hard. Thank you very much.
That is not a Christmas movie, not at all.
Oh, Richard, I'm so glad you said that. Die Hard, because Die Hard. Nothing is better than the Christmas Story, though. That's the greatest Christmas Vacation. Have you ever stuck your tongue to a flagpole in the middle of the winter?
Absolutely not.
You should try it. Then you'll have a better appreciation for that movie. All right, back to a really good game here. Zags up by 10. 72-62. This is Whitney with the basketball. Hickman defending. Boy, quick relief by Moody. He's got another one.
He can get going, man. I'm telling you.
He's now 3 of 9 from downtown. He's got 13. Zags up by just 7. Anton Watson backing in. Thomas the defense. And a reset to Hickman. Nolan, soft spot. 3 is off. Rebound, Jackson Knapp. And Montana now with some momentum. And they're sensing an opportunity. 4:08 to go. Gonzaga up by just 7. Nice and Drew Timmy. The quick hands. Drew bounce. Malachi, no whistle, no foul. A lot of contact.
Bannon goes straight up, though.
This is as close as it's been since it was 32-25. Add 40 to each team, and it's 72-65. How crazy is that? Whitney inside. Hickman defending. Whitney scores. He's got 11, and it's down to a 5-point Gonzaga lead with 3 minutes and 31 seconds to play. Whitney is heating up. Montana's got life. He's got 11. They trail by 5. And welcome back, everybody, in the Christmas spirit tonight. But boy, right now they're nervous. The eggnog not going down quite as easily as it was about an hour ago. Zags have won 71 consecutive on this floor, tying Arizona for the greatest number since like 1985. But Montana trying to roll in here in the role of Grinch.
Well, Montana, they've just sawed wood all night. It's been their efforts not wavered at all. They've weathered those stretches where they've struggled to score, and they find themselves here in the game.
And Montana's made their last 6 shots. The Zags are 1 of 8. Go to Timmy. He'll shoot free throws. Foul called on Thomas.
But if you're Montana, you're okay with a Drew Timme post-up because you can foul and put him at the free throw line. If you get put in a bad position, he's only 4 of 9 on the night. On the season, a 61% free throw shooter. So for Montana, that's a good foul.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you're Thomas, you don't need to come into that double with your arms down. Just be big.
Drew Timme, now 5 of 10 from the line. I should say that the eggnog not going down as easily as it was if it's the normal eggnog for the store. But if it's one of those special eggnogs, there might be a lot more of it going down right now. Here's Bannon. Baseline jumper. Fans back into the game. Bannon with 17. 5-point Gonzaga lead. Watson with the drive at Thomas. And he dribbles out. Hickman. Timme out to set the screen. Nolan at the elbow. Here's Watson. Free throw line jumper is blocked. Grabbed out of the air by Jackson Knapp.
Montana just refusing to guard Anton out there at the three-point line. It's congesting the offense for GU.
Montana's hit their last 7 shots. They trail by 5. Moody on the drive. Got inside and it falls off. But there's a late whistle. And a foul called on Anton Watson. Fans don't like the call. I think there was contact. The whistle was late.
Yeah, the whistle was late. I think the official was probably waiting to see if it went in or not, which not all officials will agree that they do that, but there is contact.
We got him there with the hand check.
And then again as he takes off, yes.
So Anton's going to go out of the game with his 2nd personal. As the free throw is missed, and here comes Ben Gregg.
Interesting. Look, I think this is substitutions for offense here for Gonzaga. Try to open things up a bit more for Timme with Gregg's shooting ability from the three-point line. Let's see if we see an offense for defense down the stretch.
And it remains a 5-point lead for the Zags.
Dodged the bullet. Moody, an 88% free throw shooter.
Well, how about that swing? Timme knocks both of his down. Moody misses both of his.
Hickman directs traffic. Now Smith with it. Timme a long way away. Tied up with Bannon. Got the ball 4 on the shot clock. Drew backs in. Baseline. Shot up. And again a late whistle. And Drew will shoot free throws.
His ability to create contact and put the official in a predicament of calling a foul or not. Because you get a chance to look at it here, he's almost in jail.
That's tough. I mean, Bannon just straight up, he goes underneath. You know, it reminds me a lot of Harden a few years ago, how he would drive the lane and bait guys in by just bringing the ball up through their hands. Drew does a lot of that around the paint.
Guys, everybody just stood up in this arena. They're all on their feet. And Timmy rewards them with the free throw. Now with 31 points. A minute 57 to go. Zags lead now at 6. Zags without a field goal in 3 minutes. But Timmy hits both free throws.
How about that? 4 free throws down the stretch for Timmy. Clutch shooting from the stripe.
And Drew needs 2 more to tie Matt Santangelo. Here's Whitney. Drives on Hickman. Still with the basketball. Now Thomas. Back to Whitney. Montana looks confused. Got it back to Thomas. Zags there to defend. And the offensive foul as Thomas went to the chest of Anton Watson. Good call.
Even though Watson has struggled offensively tonight, this is why he's still in the game. Because the willingness to take charges, make big plays, is part of his DNA.
And that is it for Thomas. That is number 5 on him. So he's got to come out. And Montana will go over for quick instruction from their head coach, Travis DeCure.
It's good coaching. You got 30 seconds to make the substitution. Use it as a timeout.
And Rozier Bolton back into the game for Gonzaga. Another ball handler, good free throw shooter.
Yeah, we saw Greg come in for Watson earlier. Now they've gone small with Bolton and Drew Timme with 4 guards.
Zags have made 11 of their last 12 free throws, guys. It's the difference in this game. Malachi Smith with it. Picked up his dribble. Now he needs help. Back to Nolan. Hickman with 3 players chasing. Nolan, the lob. Strother, the catch. Great job to keep possession.
Great play from Strother to save Hickman on that one.
Tough pass to throw in that position.
7-point Zag lead. Bolton with the basketball. Now Drew Timme. Bounce. Strother reverse. Left hand goes.
You said it earlier, Dan. Get Timme the ball in that high post area or a pick and roll situation. He just consistently makes good decisions.
Under a minute to play. Gonzaga back in front by 9. Bannon goes at Timme. Down the lane. Defense was there, but what a finish by Bannon. He's got 19. It stops the clock with 46.7. Zags up by 7. Josh Bannon, gentlemen, 8 of 12, 4 rebounds, 19 points.
A tremendous player. He's versatile as your 5. He can shoot it from beyond the arc. He can put the ball on the deck. We've seen him post up. We've seen him handle in pick and roll situations. A really good piece for Coach Travis DeCure, but you can't say enough about what Drew Timme has done over the last 4 or 5 possessions of this game, whether it's putting foul pressure on, knocking down his free throws, or then being the playmaker as he finds Julian Strother on the baseline cut.
He's got 5 assists tonight. This is why you're winning games right now. Drew Timme.
Yes.
I'm drafting him. He's on my team. I want that IQ. I want that IQ on my team.
And that's the thing is, it takes one GM at the next level to believe that you have a valuable role for that team, that franchise. And I will say this. He's a winner. He's a flat-out winner. He will do what it takes to figure out what to be successful at the next level.
And you said earlier in the call, Greg, he wants the big moments.
Some guys shy away from him. He doesn't.
Big possession here. Zags 2 of their last 10. Montana 8 of their last 9. Hickman with the basketball. Malachi Smith, Moody chasing. There's Rozier Bolton. And he is fouled, and Rozier will go to the free throw line. He's a tough one for Montana to put at the line. 83.9% shooter. But Bolton without a point tonight, gentlemen.
Well,
and
he's
4 fouls.
been saddled with foul trouble, as you just mentioned. Hasn't been able to get untracked. And this is the first free throw. He's another player that was really good in that Alabama game. 11 points defensively. I thought he was really good that day as well.
1 of 2 for Bolton. Anton Watson is checked in for Drew Timme. Coach Few wanting the defense. There's a chance down the lane, and the bucket goes for Brandon Whitney. That guy is good. Whitney with 13, 6-point Zag lead. And Moody deflects it, tried to save it, and almost did. Gonzaga ball. 29.3 to play, 29 on the shot clock. And we have a timeout on the floor. Montana still alive in Spokane.
It's an awkward place to inbound the ball. Good timeout here from Gonzaga to set up something, get your guys organized.
Guys, let's look at the numbers. The Zags 12 of 23 this half. Montana 17 of 27, 63%. Where's it broken down for Gonzaga?
Well, I think Montana, they've looked more comfortable here in the second half. And sometimes, I mean, it's not rocket science. Look, it's not real deep analysis. Sometimes it's about making shots. And they've made shots. They missed that last 10 minutes or so in the first half. I thought Gonzaga played a big part of that. Is forcing difficult shots late in the clock. But Montana's just stuck with it all night, and they've made some shots. Moody got going there for a bit. Bannon's been really good on both ends. Thomas got going here in the second half. So I think a lot of credit goes to Montana on what they've been able to do here in the second half offensively, more so than anything Gonzaga has or hasn't done.
Time now to announce tonight's player of the game, presented by A to Z's Rental. No job is too big or too small. With 8 convenient locations, we rent everything. Let A to Z Rental be your most valuable player. Of course, Drew Timme, 32 points, 11 rebounds, 12 of 16 from the floor. He also leads the team, guys, with 2 steals and 2 blocks. And he may not get Matt Santangelo tonight.
It's nice for Matt. He might be able to go to Christmas. You know, still hold the record.
But he'll get Matt early against Eastern Oregon, won't he?
How about that 2 p.m. tip?
I like it.
I like it.
It's on a
too.
Wednesday, though, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Tell my boss, Casey Brazil, I can't go back to the office. You know.
Hey, it's tough out there. That's what I'd say. It's tough. Bolton. Seven-point Zag lead. Make it 8. 29 seconds to go. Montana needs a quick one.
No foul. You got to provide resistance, though. Don't give up a quick, easy layup like last possession.
Whitney in the paint. Watson there. Nice finish. Nice job by Anton not to foul. And again, it's Bolton who's corralled and fouled. 6-point Zag lead. And Rozier back to the line where he's now 3 of 4. How tough are these shots for a player? And now nobody's standing. Yeah, they're going to come. They got to get over there. But how tough are these free throws down the stretch of a game, Dan?
It depends on your mentality as a player. If you want to be in this position or if you're scared of the moment. You know, I think Rozier is one of those players that he wants to be in this moment. He actively was pursuing an open area to be able to receive the inbounds pass. Too many guys in those situations shy away from the ball.
He hits them both. Zags up by 8. Whitney again. Here's Moody, 3 on the way. That's long. Strother the rebound. Julian with 9 rebounds to go with those 13 points. 6.3 seconds to go. Gonzaga about to earn their 10th victory on the season.
Well earned. Montana came in, put up a heck of an effort. I will say this, I wouldn't want to see them in the Big Sky.
No, I agree with it. This team is put together.
Yeah, Montana State won the Big Sky a season ago, but this is a really good Montana Grizzly basketball team.
They've got size, they've got guards, they can shoot and get into the lane. They can defend, they're physical. This is a really good team.
And they've got a guy in Bannon that can go get you 25 at that league if you need it.
Yep. Whitney still looking. Shot blocked by Watson, and that'll end it. Zags win by 10, 85-75. 72 consecutive home wins now. A new modern-day NC2A Division I record. That is the best number since 1985 in all of college basketball. Gentlemen, that's it. Merry Christmas to my buddies.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to my buddies. Merry Christmas to everyone out there. Good night from the McCarthy Athletic Center.